what is happening is the sound of my words are vibration that goes to the potassium and the sodium in your ears, creating the electrical currents to the sodium in your neurons. And your neurons are communicating to every chemical element through hormones, through the glands to your body, creating a constant reaction of lightnings that recreates a new pattern within the brain that is going to be reflected maybe in the next 300 years. So it's not about for you to change tomorrow. It's not about for you to understand this in 1 week. And you say, what can I do in my life to change and to see the world that I want to see? You have to first start shifting the frequency of your structure within your skull to actually be able to manifest this in the next generation, and so on. There's something that other beings from other dimensions have been telling me, which is, don't think like a human. For all this process, stop thinking like a human and think like a bee, which is very interesting. And they say the path of I, of the one, is all related to one specific bee, the queen bee. And that queen bee is called pineal gland. Yeah, we have it right in between the eyes, in the center of the brain. That is the queen bee that you all have in your body. And that queen bee has a hive that are called the neurons. Many, billions and billions of bees. And those bees are interacting, searching for the nectar and the pollen of the hormones that in every flower that we call chakra is being produced. So as we bring energy and information, our flowers starts to open the chakras. Different plants, one is red, the other one orange, yellow, and so on. So as the flowers open, the nerve system can search for the pollen, the hormones that are being created there, in those glands, to harvest information to create honey. Yeah? And that honey is called the elixir. It's a drop of pure gold liquid from the pineal gland called amrita. Amrita is that liquid that is created inside your skull that produces something that today in the drug world is called DMT. Yeah? So you produce that. Very little. The most that you produce is when you are born and when you die. But if you do the right process, you produce that every day. And in the right amount for you to actually be in contact with God all the time. So that's what people that are enlightened does, is to live correctly in the inner journey, to have every flower blossoming to produce the right hormones that gives the right pollen to the nerve system so the bees can interact in a better way with every chemical element in the right balance to give the power to the queen bee. And the queen bee can produce the amrita, the honey of consciousness. Yeah? And that honey of consciousness, boom, it can allow you to see everything. It allows you to go through every dimension. But what happened? You know that in our planet, the bees are kind of in a problem. And one of the reasons why the bees are in a problem is because bees don't search just for flowers. They navigate through magnetical fields. You know that? The bees don't see a flower. They see a negative field or a positive field. And they just fly through magnetical fields. That's why they find the right flowers. That's how they know if another hive is using that flower, so they don't touch it, so they don't interfere with the other ones. So they have a perfect navigation system throughout magnetism. So when we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 5G, and all of that, we are shifting the magnetism of the environment so the bees don't know where to go. So bees get lost. And that's why most of the bees were dying and so on. It's not just because of agriculture, it's because of all the antennas that are in the world. So what happened with our queen bee? Every time that we use a headset, that we use 5G, that we use Bluetooth, if it's not in the right frequency, we are also killing the queen bee. So it gets dry. And we cannot produce amrita, which means we lost the connection with our higher self. We lose the connection with our inner power, the Am. So all the path that we do for our I, which is all the releasing, the journey that we walk through and all of that, if we go through all of this journey, but we don't take care of the pineal gland of the queen bee with our frequency and our magnetical field empowering our system, so we cannot produce the thing that makes all the gods to be present with us. Which means we don't allow ourselves to be everything, and we just become a human surviving. And so this is, let's say, is the infinite war of consciousness.